Oh, first of all, I want to read these two letters. I had written about mind control murders and done in patterns, and I'll get to the other in a minute, just briefly. This is Affordable Corporate Suites, Overland Drive off Starkey Road in Roanoke. Starkey is the last name, real name of Ringo Starr. Okay, now, this is February the 17th. She wrote it 2011. Since Peggy moved in here in August of 2009, she has always paid her rent on time. If you have further questions, please contact me at the number above. By Jean Croft, the manager. Now then, I'm going to go to this, and then I'm going back to that one. Because these two put together, you put these two people under oath, under the threat of perjury, and it would tell you what's going on with the mind control murders. I think people know anyway. How can you make it up? But anyway, I wanted to put this. I'm allergic to chemicals, and I know people are tired of hearing it. I'm tired of what's going on with it being done to me. I have an immune disorder, and my immune system attacks itself when I'm really force-fed toxic fumes, and I've been kept homeless deliberately. I said that. So I won't go any further with it. After a period of time, when you're forced to inhale these chemicals, your body, the inflammation is so bad, your kidneys and your lungs and any organ is damaged, because when you inhale the toxic fumes, it's like a light switch. You either get rid of the fumes, what's hurting you, or you suffer the consequences, or in my case, you have to inhale. If it's not fixed, then you have to leave, and that's how they run me. And I'm going to give this. This is Corporate Suites also, and I want to say this. I read a review. This is back in 2014. I read a review of them. I Googled it. And it said, this man said, by no means stay in this one that right here. Well, any of them probably. He said he lived there, and I've forgotten if it was 5 months. It was quite a few months. He said during that time he begged them to clean his room. He went into detail, and they did nothing. In fact, it was absolutely gross what was done to him. And yet on this, listen to this. This is where they've demanded to come in and use chemicals on me, or they've had it. It's easy to do. They can use your air conditioning system, your maintenance, or whoever. It doesn't have to be maintenance, I don't suppose. People, it's not a conventional method to use, okay? I think people would be scared to death. It's like diagnosis murder in a way. It's different ways you put cameras in the vents. Well, you can put like air spray. They've got the air spray fresheners that sit out now, and they in the lobbies and everything, and they put off good fumes or sprays, and it's time. Well, you can do the same thing. You get the gist. Or they can come in and soak your linen on your bed. And in my case, there's nobody to call. They can get away with any of it, and I'm rolling in it and dying. And so I'm going to leave it because they were paving where I left about 2 weeks ago suddenly, on top of all they had done in the past. All this can be proven. And it had me using my money to leave. I couldn't get up. I was falling down and so sick I thought I was going to die because my immune system gets so low. Now, by the time I got to where I am now, my money was gone, and I gave all my money for rent next week, so it left me, or for the month, it left me no funds. So I want to say this. This, back to this letter from Corporate Suites, and her name is Makay. I had gone there from the same thing happened to me at Joseph's Dream over in Bedford. And in fact, I left here. I was here, 2011, when I went over there. And this is the first time I've been back. But I went to Joseph's Dream, and it's a HUD. A Reverend Moore out of Washington, North Carolina. He's a black minister, owns a whole bunch of them. So that's one way you can get through people, because it's a law enforcement agency that's involved in this. You can get them to commit crimes because they threaten to kill your kids, or to they get an infraction that the child's done, drugs or whatever, driving, and if the parents will go along, why they'll lessen the sentence or drop it. And that goes for the parents too, works both ways. So it didn't give them the right to do this to me, but this has been ongoing, and that's what they've done. They've used the chemicals. Now, I'm not going back and telling what was done up until 86 when I came here. Not on this, I can't get down. And I'm going to go back to this one. May the 14th, I had been at Quality Inn, so it leaves me going to HUD. That's all I can afford when I can get it. And the same thing happening there, only I'm having to break a lease. So far, they have given my money back, at least most of it, but basically they could put me on the street where I could never get anything else. I can't afford anything but HUD, low income, and they could do that completely, wipe me out. As it stands, I can anyway. I'm so sick now, I'm wondering if my lungs and kidneys will survive. But anyway, from the paving, and they'd done stuff before, this is ongoing. I went to the motel and then over here, and anyway, I was going to in 2011, I went to Bedford to the Joseph Stream, the HUD, and stayed 7 months, and you should hear what happened there. So now then, I'm back here again, and that's 5 years ago, I guess. But I left Joseph Stream in 2012, and I came back here. And as far as back then, they were nice, if you aren't me, okay, what they're doing to me. Anyway, I stayed there, and oh my God, that the Roberta would get down on her knees and use bleach and everything else on the walls. It was mine they did that to. They didn't do it to the others' rooms. It was me. And I'm going to fast forward because she died after then. She told me, this has been a joke to everybody to do this to me. When I left Joseph Stream, she told me, she says, well, I called her, and she was a new manager here, and she said, well, my brother, I believe she said brother, is a policeman over at Bedford. You come on over here and we'll take care of you. Well, they did, not the way you hope or think. But anyway, she died right after then, and she was a younger black woman. So anyway, now that I stayed up at Quality Inn for 13 months, I believe. And when I left there, it changed hands, and the people that bought it, bad. Anyway, on March the 3rd, I was out of 2014. Now, this is May the 14th, 2014. I'd moved back in here where Roberta had died, and this woman's here. And here's what she says. I was in 115. She's saying that, in other words, this is illegal for her to do, not me. She says that due to a conversation, me stating that cleaning supplies we were using was detrimental to my health. Well, they are when you use them, the wrong ones, and you put it everywhere, and you chase me with a vacuum cleaner. My God, you should see this. You should. I hope someone has. I did have some film of it, and it was destroyed. Anyway, so she says, this is considered a handicap, what they're doing, or assault. I am okay as long as I'm normal. I go out anywhere. It's where I've lived that I'm held, if you want to say it, held captive if I get a place to live, and it's done to me. So here leaves me begging. They made a pauper out of me, but so they can't comply with my request to not soak me in chemicals. How's that? which is a total bull. They still came in. They forced their way in. I'd be so sick I couldn't stand it with what they were using. And let me remind you, they didn't do this in the other rooms. While sympathetic to your situation, they're quoting OSHA, which is total lie. OSHA's not supposed to let them do that, but they get away with it. Nobody's been made pay for their crimes. So she says she won't accept any money from me for rent, and I'm out Thursday, May the 22nd, 2014, and I said, what'll happen if I come up there and stand and hand you the rent? She says, I'll have you cops come to arrest you for trespassing. So this is a woman that I want to get across to you. If she's put under oath, her in the letter I'm going to read next, if she's put under oath under perjury, law enforcement had to get her to do it and tell her. They threatened her child. There was a murder, Alexis Murphy, done here. She was finishing high school in Livingston, I believe, up near Charlottesville. She was murdered. The next one that was murdered, well, I was going, my tape's going to run out again without putting it on here. Anyway, let me just finish this. I went up there right after I first came to this woman, back to here, and her words to me were, she had the computer and everything on her desk, and she turned around to me here at Corporate Suites, where you pay the rent and everything. She said, showed me her daughter's graduation picture, and she said to me that she had worked for a bank, and she told me who, and retired, or was retiring, and that they made her, I forgot, chairman or something, a really good cushiony job, top of the line, and she had left it to come over here for this little job where she has to clean and work desk and everything. Okay, she said, I'm not going to let my daughter, what happened to Alexis Murphy happen to my daughter. So in essence, she just told you right there. Somebody in law enforcement's involved in all this told her that her daughter would die like Alexis Murphy if she didn't cooperate in what she was doing to me, and she did it. So here's her name. Now I'm going to go here. I don't know that I did this, so I've done a couple of tapes and redone them. Affordable Corporate's the same people, Overland Drive off Starkey Road, and I think I read this. Jean Croft said I paid her on time, and I stayed there from August of 2009 till they forced me out. Well, no, yeah, in early March of 11? Yeah, because they raised the rent over to what I could pay, exactly over what I was getting, income. So anyway, that's how they got me out there, but I suffered the fumes and all that. But these people, if you get them up, these two would tie together. And that also, if I can get this in before it goes off, and I don't think I will, what's connected to the timeline here, a retired Virginia State Trooper, Carl, oh God, I'm going to go blank now. Anyway, I put it up here so many times. And his wife brought me down off Roanoke Mountain. I was tended up there legally trying to get fresh air. Instead, I had fuel dumped on my tent that night, and his wife brought me down to Corporate Suites here at this time and paid the security deposit. I paid every penny after then. She said to me, this is how we move you using chemicals. Well, I've told everybody that, and they just tell me it's nuts. No, it's not happening to you, or fluff me off. So anyway, I want to show you what happened in this timeline. I moved in, like she said here, August of 2009. Well, 2 weeks later is when he's retired now, Virginia State Trooper Don Childs. It's Takeoff on Childers, my last name, and this is going to go out. His daughter, and his wife's name Laura. That's the name of my husband's sister, Laura Childers Klein. She lives out in Lockhart, Texas. This is Caldwell Field. This is Caldwell Fields. And the balloons, oh, this is true. Believe me, the balloons that went down out there was in Caldwell County, Lockhart, Texas. So you have to get some more background on that. But anyway, his daughter is shot and killed. And then I'm going to get this real quick. Morgan Harrington.